Hi. I was just sitting here reflecting, just finished doing a session, and I felt like I inspired to come on and just speak about something. And I was like, oh, I'll just go on a live and move the energy. I'm trying to stretch that muscle of sharing when I have these insights. So one of the things that I am curious about is the idea or concept or felt experience of self-care when you are a parent, or when you are especially have like a little one. That's where I'm at right now. I've got a 13-month-old. And one of the things that's been interesting for me in this journey is trying to figure out what self-care looks like, because when you don't have kids, or maybe when your kids are a bit older, self-care might look like, oh, I'm going to go have this time alone, I'm going to nurture myself, I'm going to do yoga, these kinds of things. But it's interesting because what I've noticed for myself, and I have noticed a few people writing about this, but I haven't heard a lot of it, is I wonder if the idea of self-care and what self-care means needs to be different for this time of family. And here's where I'm going with this. I notice if in my mind I have this idea that, okay, self-care means I'm going to have an hour to do yoga. Oh, self-care means I'm going to have this much time to have a shower or a bath. Oh, self-care means da 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 da. Then I notice I can just feel frustrated because it's not realistic. Not that I don't get moments, but it doesn't feel realistic in terms of like every day I'm going to consistently have all this time specifically for self-care. But what I have noticed is realistic. And what I wonder, because this is the thing I always grapple with, is I don't feel like life and spirit, or life and God, would create a scenario where it was impossible for us to be well. Life doesn't do that. Life wants to create a scenario where there can be wellness. And so what I'm curious about is, or what I've been tracking for, is like, where is the wisdom in here that spirit and life have that is beyond what our minds think or define as self-care? And what I have found, and this makes sense with the somatic work that I've done and with understanding the physiology, is it seems like self-care actually is, can you move into the connection that's here and the resource that's here in being in the togetherness, and that itself is what's nurturing. So, for example, what that could look like is I'm with my son and I'm thinking, oh, well, I can't wait until I have time to take care of myself. Or what I could be doing is, okay, while I'm here with my son, what's nourishing here right now? Oh, we're giggling, we're laughing. Oh, I could actually roll around on the ground and stretch my body while he's crawling around me. Oh, that was actually such a good giggle we just had. Oh, I'm really enjoying this hug. So for me, it's been starting to notice how, dropping into the new rhythm of, and that itself being the self-care, which what I've been noticing is when I hang out with my friends that have little ones, they're almost like stressed out trying to figure out how to do self-care. And like, that's not the point of it, right? Is like to find more time for, it's like, at least at this stage. So what I've been kind of tracking in myself is when I let go of that story and I'm just being in what's here, I was like, oh, there's a whole different version of self-care here that is being nourished by the togetherness, being nourished by the connection. And if we know about actual physiology, when we have, oxytocin moving through our body, and we have eye contact and connection and love, that actually is nourishing and it does bring wellness. So the connection itself, both with our little one or our little ones, and with our partner and our family, and then also with our village, those things are nurturing. They are care. And so it's almost like, how do we switch this idea away from like self-care is something that I go and I do by myself? Not to say that if there's that moment arises, not to like take it and love it, but how is it that actually right now, right here, there is exactly the ingredients I need to be well, but I need to shift my expectations, and I need to start to drop in to the way that the hormones in my body and life has designed me to be well here. Life wants us to be well. So the ingredients are here, but we have to slow down. we have to feel the connection. We have to feel the pleasure. We need to allow ourselves to surrender into what's happening now. And also, I feel like a little bit saying just we need to take the pressure off of mamas of like, well, are you doing all, like just for self-care to be a whole another thing to do, and being curious about like how are they maybe already doing it but they don't even know, or maybe they are having moments that could be really resourcing if they are in their bodies with it. And what I'm appreciative about this, and I can feel that this is going to stretch me in my life post child too, is I'm actually building my muscle to be well in connection and to be well and enjoying and playing and laughing in whatever's here, and that is a huge part of being human. So thanks for listening. I wanted to just share this insight and offer it, sprinkle it out into the ethers for other mamas.